The headlines: bandits claim the lives of 9 individuals and abduct 50 others in Niger State. Chinese national sentenced to death by Kano High Court for the murder of his girlfriend. The Central Bank of Nigeria raises the interest rate to 24.75%. On the foreign scene, Israel remains resolute despite a binding UN resolution as the death toll in Gaza continues to escalate. Hello there, good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. We begin in Niger State as bandits have killed 9 of the 50 abducted persons from Madaka Market in Rafi local government area of the state. The gunmen had invaded the market last Thursday, killing 22 people, including the village head, a newlywed man, and abducted 50 others, mostly women. According to reports, 9 of those abducted were killed in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. The district head of Madaka, Isa Bawale Madaka, confirmed the development to newsmen on Tuesday. He said so far they had buried over 30 bodies, adding that the bandits have not requested or demanded for a ransom. Still talking security, the multinational Joint Task Force says 2 high-ranking Boko Haram commanders have surrendered to the task force. Lieutenant Colonel Abubakar Abdullahi, the spokesperson for the task force, disclosed this in a statement released on Tuesday. The commanders, identified as Ibrahim Muhammad and Awal Muhammad, also known as Wanka, belonged to the Bakura Buduma faction and were responsible for carrying out attacks in various locations around the Lake Chad region. He attributed the surrender to the intensified operations of Nigerian troops targeting terrorist groups within Sector 3 of the multinational Joint Task Force. They were active commanders operating in the Lake Chad Islands until they decided to lay down their sophisticated weapons and surrender. Abdullahi says during questioning, both Muhammad and Wanka revealed their 15-year affiliation with the Bakura Buduma faction of Boko Haram operating out of Kwalaram in the Lake Chad Islands. And in other news, the publisher of the Kaduna-based Desert Herald newspaper, Tukur Mamu, has formally communicated with the Attorney General of the Federation requesting a retraction following his profiling and designation as a terrorist financier. In a letter dated March 25, 2024, addressed to the Attorney General of the Federation, Mamu's counsel, J.J. Usman, SAN, emphasized that the Nigerian Sanctions Committee lacked the statutory authority to designate Tukur Mamu as a terrorist financier. Usman, SAN, representing Mamu, who has been detained since 2022, pointed out that such a designation is beyond the committee's mandate. The letter issued a 7-day ultimatum for the retraction of Mamu's designation as a terrorist financier to avoid potential litigation. It also highlighted that the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation is currently prosecuting Mamu on terrorism-related charges. Mamu's lawyer underscored the importance of rectifying the designation to prevent further legal action against his client, emphasizing the lack of legal basis for such an assertion by the Nigerian Sanctions Committee. Southern Ijaw Federal Constituency lawmaker from Bayelsa State, Rodney Ebikebina, has joined in the condemnation of the cold-blooded murder of military personnel in Okuama, in Ughelli South local government area of Delta State. In a press briefing in Abuja, Rodney expressed profound dismay at the gruesome event, labeling it as one of the worst tragedies to befall soldiers in recent history. He also denounced the invasion of the once peaceful community, allegedly carried out by military personnel in pursuit of the perpetrators of the crimes in Okuama. He lamented the aftermath of this invasion, leading to the destruction and loss of innocent lives in the Igbo Motoru community, which he described as unfortunate and saddening. The lawmaker also urged the people of Igbomoturu and the entire southern Ijaw Federal constituency to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity or movements in their respective communities to law enforcement agencies. He also emphasized the importance of community cooperation and vigilance in ensuring the safety and security of affected areas.
When an oil touches one finger, it touches the other hands. It's because one person or two persons may have committed crime should not mean that every other person should go for that punishment. If the Nigerian Army intelligence is true and they go to a Igbomoturu community, it's not every Igbomoturu community people that did the killing. As we speak, most of them are in the bush or in the bushes. Just like in my statement, the children can't even go to school. One, there's presence of military. Of course, you know, our people. Sometimes the military cannot even do them anything, but for that fear, it's a problem. They can't even go to bush. So as a result, will you allow innocent Nigerians to die as a result of a crime being committed one or two or three persons? No, it's not possible.
Staying with that development, the Nigerian Army has finalized arrangements to accord a befitting burial to some of its personnel who tragically lost their lives in the Okwama community of Delta State. The 17 deceased personnel affiliated with the 181 Amphibious Battalion were laid to rest at the National Cemetery in Abuja on Wednesday. The soldiers who were on a peace mission to the community met their untimely demise, according to the military high command, after an ambush by perpetrators. Major General Onyema Nwachukwu, the Nigerian Army spokesperson, announced the burial date on Tuesday, revealing that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would be in attendance as the special guest of honor to pay his last respects to the fallen heroes. In spite of the unfortunate incident, Major General Nwachukwu reassured Nigerians that troops from various military operations would remain steadfast in their constitutional duties. This determination underscores the commitment of the Nigerian military to uphold peace and security across the country, even in the face of adversity, according to the spokesperson. To Kano State, where a state high court located in Miller Road has delivered a verdict sentencing the Chinese national to death by hanging for the murder of his girlfriend. The victim, Kulthum Buhari, was reportedly killed by the Chinese man at her residence in the Rijiyar Zaki area of Kano metropolis following a dispute. Barrister Haruna Isa, the Kano State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, stated that justice has been served in the case that endured for nearly 2 years following the tragic death of Kulthum. The court's decision reflects the seriousness with which such crimes are treated within the jurisdiction, underlining the commitment of the legal system to uphold justice and ensure accountability for acts of violence.
The court has just handed down its verdict, and Frank has been convicted and sentenced accordingly for the offense he has committed. And that puts an end to the matter. For us, it is the end of the road for us. For him, he may likely exploit other avenues as the law has provided. And we are ready when he decides so to do. Anybody can do that. Even you, as a citizen, can write formally and, request that a certain individual should be extended that kind of favor. And the court has done no wrong by doing that.
Now, operatives of the Taraba State Special Task Force Committee halted a trailer carrying 369 bags of iron monazite in Garba, Chede town of Bali local government area of the state. The intercepted cargo, valued at over 20 million naira, was found in a trailer moving from Taraba State to Gombe. And according to reports, the iron monazite was loaded onto the trailer from Seriti the administrative headquarters of Gashaka Local Government Area Council. Now, a committee member revealed that the Special Task Force operatives seized the trailer during an intensive patrol across the central zone of Taraba State, where iron monazite is commonly obtained in large quantities. Iron monazite, a mineral resource utilized in development of high technology weapons and aircraft components, holds strategic importance. Governor Abu Kebas of Taraba State signed an Executive Order 5 that established the Special Task Force with the aim of curbing the excesses of miners in Taraba State, underscoring the government's commitment to regulating the mining sector and ensuring compliance with relevant regulations. The Rivers State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has announced the arrest of 5 individuals suspected of involvement in oil theft within the state. This revelation was made by the spokesperson of the command, Olufemi Ayodele, during a press briefing in the state capital. Ayodele further disclosed that the Commandant General's Special Intelligence Squad of the NSCDC executed the arrest. Additionally, they uncovered a significant illegal oil bunkering site located at Odagwa community in Eche local government area of the state. The operation underscores the NSCDC's ongoing efforts to combat illicit activities in the oil sector, particularly oil theft, which has been a persistent challenge in the region. The report.
Parading the suspects before the newsmen, the spokesperson of the Rivers Command, Olufemi Ayodele, hinted that the successful discovery of over 10 illegal refineries with an estimated 500,000 liters of crude oil contained in 15 illegal constructed reservoirs was based on credible intelligence.
This is Odagwa community in Eche local government of Rivers State. 5 suspects have been arrested presently, while others at large. They were arrested for vandalizing the wellhead of Harris Energies. They tapped into the wellhead using different holes, different pipes.
While conducting an operational tour across the vast forest, about 10 different cooking pots of 50,000 liters capacity were seen, with unqualified liters of crude oil and illegal refined automotive gas oil stored in 6 very large reservoirs and other smaller reservoirs.
2 hours we've been walking through this massive forest. This is a very thick forest in Odagwa community in Eche local government. And you can see for yourself the cooking pots. So the process continues, and we are now at the second phase of the operations. Look at the last tank that we saw in that area. It's about 120,000 liters capacity.
The Rivers State Commandant, Basil Igwebueze, through the spokesperson, reassured that thorough investigation has commenced to unravel those behind illegal sites, while all suspects arrested will be charged to court.
The Commandant General Special Intelligence Squad has made these arrests. All the suspects will definitely be charged to court of competent jurisdiction. Investigation is still ongoing, because if you look at the nature of this illegal operation taking place in this vicinity, you will know there is a cartel involved. By the time we start our investigation, a thorough investigation indeed, we will unravel the mystery behind this unscrupulous and nefarious activity.
Commandant Basil thanked the Commander General for commissioning of the Special Intelligence Squad, which has been working relentlessly across the states of the Federation to combat the menace of illegal dealings in petroleum products, crude oil theft, vandalism of railway lines, among others.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up ahead. Excited residents visit ongoing construction site of the first flyover in Makurdi. More on this and many other stories in just a moment after the break. Welcome back to the news. Thank you so much for staying with us. Let's take another look at the top stories. Bandits have claimed the lives of 9 individuals out of the 50 that have been abducted in Niger State. A Chinese national has been sentenced to death by hanging by a Kano High Court for the murder of his girlfriend. Moving on now, the ongoing construction of the first bypass in high-level part of Makurdi, the Benue State capital, is attracting an unprecedented number of residents who visit the site on a regular basis. People from all walks of life come to witness the magnitude of the construction site, with many expressing astonishment at the scale of the project. Here's Jimmy Azande with more on the story.
These are Benue residents, some of them traveling from other parts of the state to, in their words, see for themselves. The old, the young and the children come here to see the progress of the work at the construction site of the bypass, thereby turning it into some tourist attraction.
I come here to come and see the construction that people are constructing, so that when I grow up I'll be able to tell people story about it.
Today, this morning I came to observe and see what is happening here, so that when I grow up I will tell my children how it starts and when they were doing it.
It is a sunny day in Makurdi, and the residents have defied the weather to see the technology at work at the first of its kind construction in Benue State since its creation 48 years ago.
Since 1976, right? Benue State had existed since then, but we've not seen such a thing. So I think the governor who is now in place is doing the best, and every other person like myself appreciate what he's doing. I think it's a very good development.
We are very happy about this particular work that is going on here, projects. And we praise our governor. We love what he's doing for us. But we are very happy. We never think such thing will happen in our state since I was born, to me. But now I'm seeing many things, not only this work that is going on. Many have been going on. So we are very happy for him.
They commended Governor Hyacinth Elia for his developmental strides and prayed for more of developments in the state.
I believe that Makurdi will wear a new face, giving our first ever high-level interchange underpass. It will give Benue State a new face of development. The state will look better. The state will look beautiful. So I call on all Benue sons and daughters to associate with his developmental strides so that we will take our state to higher heights.
On the flip side, the blockade of the area for construction has no doubt caused a setback for the business community, as many have been forced to close or relocate to other destinations while work progresses. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Now, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria has concluded its two-day meeting for March 2024, marking the second meeting for the year and the 294th meeting overall. Following the deliberations, the MPC has decided to increase the monetary policy rate, also known as interest rates, by 2%. Consecutively, the MPR was raised from 22.75% to 24.74%. Additionally, the committee also chose to widen the asymmetric corridor to plus 100 basis points. And furthermore, the NPC opted to maintain the cash reserve ratio of deposit money banks at 45%. However, there was an adjustment in the CRR for merchant banks, which was increased from 10% to 14%.
The committee's decisions are as follows. 1. Raise the NPR by 200 basis points to 24.75 from 22.75%. 2. Adjust the asymmetric corridor around the NPR at plus 100 to 300 basis points, to minus 300 basis points. 3. Retain the cash reserve ratio of deposit money banks at 45%. 4. Adjust the cash reserve ratio of merchant banks from 10% to 14%. And 5. Retain the liquidity ratio at 30%.
Let's turn our attention now to developments on the international scene as Israel has dismissed Hamas's ceasefire demands as, quote, delusional, after the group said it was sticking to its original proposal calling for Israel's full withdrawal from Gaza and a permanent ceasefire. Meanwhile, the Israeli military has bombed a house in Rafah, killing at least 18 people, including 9 children. Leaders worldwide welcomed the UN resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza, while the United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres, says it must be implemented. It has been nearly 24 hours since the United Nations Security Council resolution demanded an immediate ceasefire during Ramadan passed, but the reality on the ground is the complete opposite of what the resolution is demanding, as there seems to be a surge in attacks on Rafah city along with the ongoing threats to expand the military operations in the enclave. The resolution allows for 2 weeks, which is not enough to respond to this catastrophe created by Israel's war on Gaza, as well as not enough to coordinate and secure the delivery of aid to the northern part of Gaza. Let's talk sports now. Bayer Leverkusen has celebrated the return of top scorer Victor Boniface to full training after recovering from an adductor injury that sidelined him for 3 months. The Nigerian international was pictured training with his teammates on Monday, and Leverkusen expressed their delight as he prepares for a comeback. Boniface, who has scored 16 goals and provided 8 assists in 23 games this season, is expected to feature in the upcoming match against Hoffenheim under coach Xavi Alonso. Well, that's the latest for you at this news hour. Thank you most kindly for joining us. Feel free to follow us across our social media platforms to catch up with more news contents, and do check out our website trusttv.com for the latest news and documentaries. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. As always, thank you for your time.